All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow Pandemonium travelers, this is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown, day 344, I think, by my count, maybe. And this is the current state of the Snowpocalypse. Yeah, it was hollow. It was fake news. Fake news. They said it was going to be a giant blizzard. There's no blizzard. The people are fine. I mean, it started raining. It's warmer. Now I understand. Now Texas is fucked. Sorry guys. You're really in it. And you don't know what to do. People are talking about their pipes freezing on their houses and what have you. Yep. That's and here in the frozen Northlands, which is, you know, not really Seattle, there are methods put in place to prevent such things and practices that help mitigate the damages of such things. And you know, we all have like cold weather gear. I mean, I could fully understand somebody in Texas not owning, like, you know, a pair of ski gloves or like a parka. It would not make sense for you to own such things because you would never need them normally, right? But yeah, we kind of got snowed in over the weekend. Walked to the store, got some groceries. Kind of thought about using my snowboard as a sled, but it was like, nah, we don't need to do that. There are other people doing that. Other people cross-country skiing around the neighborhood. Because why not? People over at the park riding sleds down the hill, because that's what you do when it snows. So if you can get out and have fun in it, do. You know, make a snowman. If you've never made a snowman or had a snowball fight, go out there and do it. It's fun. You'll get all cold, then you come back inside, and then you drink some hot chocolate. Then you go back out again and you play in the snow some more. Make a snow fort. Good stuff. And especially somewhere like Texas, you know. I mean, I saw that pile up the other day that you guys had. That's brutal, but have fun with it if you can. You know it's abnormal, right? So anyways, it's allegedly climate change and it's the end of the world. But I'm skeptical. I don't know. I feel like we have warmer times and colder times and blah blah blah. Anyways, so what else is going on? We got this. Well, it was Valentine's Day. I hope everyone had fun of whatever kind with whomever. I'm not here to kink shame. It was like a year ago, guys. A year ago, not on Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, but it was like the weekend of Valentine's Day, or like right before it. And me and the missus went to Umi Sake House. It's our favorite, well, it's one of my favorite restaurants in the whole world. I turned her on to sushi there. She had never really been into sushi, and so we went there and I got her to, you know, cross that threshold, and she likes it. Now she likes sushi. It was a year ago that we had Valentine's weekend dinner there. We sat at the bar, we had rolls. I think we both had a baby, what do they call it, like a sunrise squid or something like that? It was like a baby squid. Tasty, it's fine, it's good. Never had that before, but it was good. We had rolls and watched them do the presentation on the rolls they were making for other tables, and, you know, had little samples here and there, and drank some sake, and then, like, again, 2 weeks later, like, that's the last time we basically sat down in a restaurant and had dinner. Was a year ago. We did sit down and have a meal when we were traveling last summer, but that was like, you know, that was burgers at like a burger joint in Idaho. Zips, shout out. If you end up at a Zips, get yourself a Wrangler and a Huckleberry milkshake, And you can get the crisp cut fries, you know, waffle fries. They're tasty, good stuff. But yeah, it was a year since things were normal. I got the COVID like the next week and fought through that for several days. At the time, I didn't really put two and two together. I kind of thought that, you know, maybe it was that I got COVID, but I was like, yeah, well, I just got really sick. In hindsight, no, my symptoms were exactly what everyone else was describing, and I was this close to going to the hospital. You know, you can't see my hand, but very, very close. I was like, okay, if my temperature doesn't go down from 105 real quick, then I'm gonna go to the hospital. And it did, so I didn't, and then I got better, and that's pretty much that. It's been like a year since I was sick with the pandemic outbreak, you know, and this whole year, man. I mean, we're coming up on me actually recording daily videos. I mean, when we get to 365, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll have some champagne, not while I'm driving, of course, but it's gonna be. I mean, it's. Can you believe it's been a year, and really, like, how much has changed? Like, all last year was just this massive shock to the system. The system of, I mean, really everything, right? From the George Floyd stuff to our politics, the pandemic, everything's just went bananas. And now we're back to, well, I guess I would call it normal. This is normal. There's a lot of snow on top of my car. I did not wipe it off. I was seeing someone today posting about how it's -9 degrees out and people still think housing is a privilege, not a right. And I appreciate the sentiment that, you know, people can freeze to death, but and people say, well, we have vacant housing, so why don't we just house the people in the vacant housing? And it's like, well, that's a wonderful idea that's been had before. You're not a genius for having this idea. So what's the temperature threshold for when we take property from someone else and force them to do something with it? Like force them to house the homeless. Okay, we're gonna take this housing from you and put people in it that we've decided belong there, not you, the owner of the property. What's the threshold there? So if it's below freezing, then we can ignore property rights and property ownership and just supersede that and say, no, we're gonna put these people in this housing. Or like, is it negative? Is it below zero? That's the temperature that now it's fatal, because technically you can be like wet in like 60-degree weather and still get like hypothermia, right? So that's the threshold then, is if people get rained on and it's like 50 degrees, that's then a threat to their life and their health and their well-being. Or like only for certain days of the year when it's really cold, then you can put them in that housing, but then not normally. Like what if it's too hot outside? What if it's 105 outside? Do they then need to have a source of shade? Does that then become a human right because it's now too hot? It's like people take this impulse to like do the right thing, and then they like don't play out all the externalities of it. And the result would be, if we did such a thing, is some bizarre abomination of law where you have a spare room in your house, so now they're gonna take a homeless person off the sidewalk who's addicted to drugs and then force them to stay in your house. Think about it that way. Forcing them off the street where they in some sense want to be and put them into your house. Are you going to enjoy that? Why didn't you do that without the law, without the state getting involved? Right? If you want to do the right thing, do the right thing. Everyone's allowed to say basically whatever they want on the internet, and it might have been a mistake. Not me, of course. Everything I say is 100% correct. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.